Good evening, everybody. Hell's Unicorn here once again, and it's now been roughly 24 hours since the end of the Oklahoma and Arizona state conventions, and it seems that now a little bit more clarity is coming into the picture here. I've just got finished reading Doug Wead's blog, and I've a link in the description to this, and I'm just going to sum up the finer points, but I encourage everybody to go over there and read this. It appears that what I saw via Ustream, both in Oklahoma and also in Arizona, was a bit misleading in some respects, and this is primarily the result of the theatrics that were on display in the latter that didn't look very promising. But the long and short of it is, it looks like, according to Doug Wead, that we may have actually pulled out a victory in Arizona, and it looks like Oklahoma is the more uncertain of the two. This didn't really seem that way at the time based on media coverage, but the way it looked basically, or this is basically the way it is with regards to Doug Wead's viewpoint on this. Romney and Santorum people ganged up and managed to hold up the entire convention in Oklahoma. Now, the fact remains that Robert's rules was not followed at all in the way that the convention was closed down. And obviously we have all these reports of physical violence on the part of Romney supporters against Paul supporters in Oklahoma. I would argue that Oklahoma is a similar case to Missouri, and I think that we have a case here, and I think that we can get all of those at-large delegates that we were after there. Now, with regards to Arizona, according to Doug Wead's blog, we have captured 11 of 18 of the congressional district delegates, which is a majority, and there's a remaining 25 at-large delegates that we're currently fighting over, and the delegate slates were voted on, and the votes are now being counted in private. Now, according to what I saw on the stream last night, they have people in the counting room with the counters that are favorable to all parties. We have 3 Paul people in there looking over their shoulder to make sure there isn't anything weird going on. So I am cautiously optimistic with regards to Arizona, and I'm maybe not quite as optimistic as I was regarding Oklahoma, because it looks like things may not work out the same way they did in St. Charles, Missouri. We'll have to see how this goes. But anyway, it's a pretty good day, but it was a very hard-fought day. That's basically the picture that I'm getting here. Now, with regards to some other related topics, there's 2 other things I wanted to hit on. Virginia is actually looking pretty good here. We're actually winning delegates there, a fairly good number of them. I'm not sure yet if we have a majority, but I'm going to put a link to the Daily Poll on this here. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks like we're close to getting a majority. It's pretty close. I mean, I saw Matt Larson 10 actually put out a video about this, and I think that there's more information on there, so I'm just going to link to that also. But there's, from what I'm seeing on the Daily Poll, there's 11 congressional districts in Virginia, so there's 33 district delegate slots, and it looks like out of what was available, we got 17 out of 24. At least that's what it's looking like according to the Daily Poll. And again, I'm providing links for everything, and I'm going to try to specifically label everything so it's easy to get to, because I know it's important to source your material. Now, one other thing that's mentioned in Doug Wead's blog, and this is something that needs to be dispelled immediately, because the mainstream media is already, spreading this bullshit around like wildfire. Mitt Romney's son getting booed off the stage. Anybody who watched that speech while it was streaming, which I did, will know for a fact that that is a deliberate misrepresentation of what happened. Mitt Romney's son gave his speech, his initial speech, uninterrupted. He later came back to the podium after walking away for a second to plug a specific list of delegates that his father wanted elected. Now, I'm not sure specifically what the rules are regarding this, but I don't think it is ethical for somebody attached to a to an actual campaign, like an official campaign party member, to actually plug delegates for vote at a convention. I mean, that's something that doesn't really pass the smell test for me. And according to Wead's blog here, it wasn't just Paul supporters that were booing him at that point. And they were booing him not because he was endorsing Romney as a candidate, but because he was trying to push Romney's personal handpicked delegates. So anyway, I'm providing links for everything. It's good to read all this stuff just so you know what's going on. I would like to extend also a little apology to the people in Arizona that have been working on the ground on Ron Paul's side. From the looks of it, it didn't look as good as what it's turning out to be, and Arizona is an extremely hostile state, and whatever you guys can get for us is great. I mean, Pennsylvania is probably not going to look as good as what you guys are looking at right now, and I'm very ashamed of that. I tried as hard as I could to get as many of the Paul delegates elected here as I could, and it looks like we've only managed to deliver 5 delegates in this state. So anyway, check out all this stuff and feel free to discuss. With prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.